truly AI will completely change things for you. It will change your business. It will change your flexibility, the time you have. You'll work less and you'll do better. And I know that sounds really silly because that's one of those, marketing speaks that we've used in the past too. But AI truly makes a massive difference. So again, my name is Faye Chappell. I'm the founder here at Mastermind City along with Stacy. And what we do is we provide coaching and training on demand access to lots of different courses for entrepreneurs around the world. So we're going to take you through today exactly what is a base learning for AI that you can implement right away. So if you're scared, I'm going to take that away from you and you'll be able to use it right away. And the fact is, most people might have dabbled in it. You might have said, okay, I've heard a little bit about it, and you've gone into it. And what you realize, you enter some question and then you get something back and you go, well, this isn't that great. And then you leave. Right? You say, I'm not going to do this. But what the key is, you haven't done it correctly or you don't know the basics. And that's normal, right? Most of us don't know the basics of very simple AI. And the truth is, it's really an interesting time with AI because it is changing at lightning speed. So what we are going to talk about today is literally going to change tomorrow. More and more pieces are going to be added in. But the cool thing is that if you know the basics, it doesn't matter what comes next, you're going to be able to go ahead and implement the new changes. So my biggest advice is to really stay understanding the basics, know where you're going, and then jump in. So before we get any further, I want to make sure that you guys know, for me anyways, you don't have to take notes because Stacy is going to give you a link and you can download the slides that I'm going to show you. Why? Because the slides actually will have prompts and things that you can use to do right today. When you're finished, when you've gone back to your regular business hours, you can take those prompts and start using them. So don't worry about taking notes. What's more important is that you are focused on paying attention of what we're talking about. So for those of you who don't know what AI is, it's really just machine learning, right? So think about it, you've used it already in the past. If you've used Siri or Alexa and you've said, hey Siri, what's this song? Or hey Alexa, oopsie, we just talked to her. Hey Alexa, what's the weather like? She'll answer you, right? That is AI. That's machine learning, right? So AI is fantastic or not. It is as good as the questions that you give it. The data that you put in will give you what comes out. So it is really a great tool, but you have to understand where its limitations are. So think about it again. If you're really confused, just think about Alexa or Siri and understand that it's basically those two on steroids, for lack of a better word. And how can it help your business? Again, efficiency, it's personalization, and it's analytics. All of it and so much more. You can tell I'm really excited about it because I love it. I use it every single day because it is completely changing the way I make decisions, the way I look at the competition, and the potential it has really to transform your business so that you, again, are working less, because AI can help you write blogs, courses, full books. If you've been one of those people that have been like, I really want to write a book, but I don't know how to start, AI can help you with that. It can also create social media, email sequences, you name it, it can do it. That is if you learn to use it correctly. So truly, because you're listening today, you are on the new frontier of all this, because AI is the Wild West. It really is. And it's changing all the time. And early adapters, so if you adopt what we're talking about today, you will be on the forefront, the cutting edge of what's going on. Because the truth is, you've probably heard about it, right? Everyone's heard about AI, but really there's a teeny tiny little section of people that are actually using it and using it correctly. And, I can tell you, even yesterday, we were working with a client who's very smart, very intelligent, has a great business success, and she didn't know how to ask the right questions. And I just took it for granted that she would know. But once she did it, she was blown away. She was like, oh my God, I can't believe this did this for me. So there is masses of opportunity for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the big spectrum, and then we're going to dive in a little deeper to understand, right? So you guys probably have heard of ChatGPT. That is the mothership. That's what started it all. And ChatGPT, again, is a language tool, right? So it is being trained on massive amount of text throughout the world, and it pulls that and it gives information back. So ChatGPT is just one of them. We're going to talk about the other ones as well, but we're going to use it today to understand it. And it really is a general purpose software that gives us really high quality responses because it is based on all of its learning. So I want to tell you the difference as well between ChatGPT and some of the AI pieces that you've seen come along the way, because there is a big difference, right? There's a huge difference. And ChatGPT and all the other tools are learning every day. So they are getting smarter by pulling all the information there is in the world into their platforms and giving that back. So I've put the link in case those of you don't know. ChatGPT, this is where you can sign up. It is free. There is a paid model, which is ChatGPT 4. It's the one I usually use. Why? It's just faster, quicker, better responses. The paid model is only $20 a month. It's really inexpensive, but the free versions work just as well. So just in the last couple of months, all these other players have really started showing up. So Bard, which is Google's, for those of you who want to try Bard, you have to be right now in the US to use it. So for us smart tech people, we just put in our VPN and pretend we're in the US. And we go ahead and use it. Bard is great. Bard also gives you visuals when you ask questions. There's Llama, which is Meta, right? Facebook and Instagram, that's their version. Bing is the Microsoft version, and there's a private one called Claude. And then people always ask, because Stacy and I are big Apple people, and like, what's Apple doing? Why don't they have one? And Apple is really focusing on what we call intuitive AI rather than generative, right? So they are focused not just on giving answers, but they are putting it into their all of their devices. So for example, if you have the latest iPhone, what they've done is they've integrated AI. So when you go to take a picture, the AI knows if you're taking a portrait or a landscape, and it will adjust it by itself. You don't have to touch any buttons. So that's what Apple is doing. So they're just putting it in their watches and their phones and making sure that you have access to it without having to go to a different site. So it's very cool. So when you log into ChatGPT, this is really what you see. You'll see some little things that say, here's what we're capable of, and then it'll have a new chat at the top, and then you can ask it any question and it will answer. And that's really as simple as the framework gets. And the reason I'm putting it out here is so that you're not afraid when you see the screen. It's very simple. A lot of people who are afraid of tech are afraid to type anything, right? Or move a button or change. Don't worry about anything. If you don't like what the input is, delete it. If you don't know what to ask, you can always go to help. And I'm going to show you all the tools that you can use as well. So ChatGPT, Bard, the rest of them are all your basic tools. And then there's also a whole bunch of other things that you can use. And the easiest way to differentiate and find what you need is to go to any AI directory. And if you Google right now, AI directory, lots of them will come up. Is there one better than the other? Not really. They all have everything and they all have links. So for example, Futurepedia, GPTE, grab on, they are all strictly directories. So remember, you guys get the slides at the end, so you can go ahead, you don't have to write them down now, you'll be able to look them up later. So what does a directory look like? So basically, this is one of them, it's one of the ones I like. And what it does is every AI tool that they can find, they put in the directory. So if you are looking for help with writing, you can click the writing category, and then it'll list everything that this directory knows that has that capability in AI. Directories are amazing. So pick one or two, bookmark them, and you'll be able to find what you want. You want pictures, it'll help you. But it's blowing up, so it's everywhere. So there's so many more opportunities. There's extensions, for example, that you can add in. So there's like a ChatGPT sidebar. It's a Chrome extension, so it's always sitting there. If you're searching, if you're on the internet and you're looking for stuff, you can go to your sidebar and it will automatically give you more information about what you're searching for. So all of those stuffs can be added in, but we need to start with the basics first, right? We need to start with basically the mothership, ChatGPT. So when you go to ChatGPT, what you're going to do is put in a prompt, and a prompt is just an ask, right? It's the question that you ask in order to get information back. The quality of what you ask, just like how many of you coaches know that's to the truth, the quality of the question you ask, it enables you to get the correct response. So you can, if you're not sure what to ask, if you've been playing with it and you're like, oh, I'm still not getting the right response, you can use prompt generators. Again, those are other AI pieces that will actually give you questions. But I'm going to give you the secret. The number one thing you can do if you don't know what to ask, you don't know what you're doing, ask ChatGPT what questions you need to ask it in order to get the answer. I know it sounds silly, but here's the thing. You can go into ChatGPT and you can say, I'm a life coach and I want to work on some social media content to get me new clients. And my avatar is females between 25 and 50. Can you ask me questions to give you more information so that you can give me better output? And you know what it'll start doing? Having a conversation with you. It'll start asking you the questions that you need to answer in order for it to give you really great advice. So we're going to don't worry, we're going to walk through it a little bit slower so you understand this, but that's how easy it is. So a prompt, don't be afraid of that. It's just an ask. You guys will have seen in a lot of different program software that you have, you'll be seeing AI being integrated, right? Everywhere. It's in every platform. We have it in our platform at Mastermind City. So we're helping our customers, our clients, and our students get the information. So this is Kajabi. This is a site that we use. We use Kajabi for our website and membership delivery. So Kajabi, I'm just showing you how it integrates. So Kajabi has these free tools. And if you go to that link there where you see kajabiai.com, you don't have to own Kajabi. You can just play with this to see what it's like. So it will do a landing page copy for you, a sales script, social media, whatever you want, it will generate. So how does that look? So I'm using Kajabi, and Kajabi's is very basic, but basically I started with a course outline, right? So I typed in, what I typed in was meditation for busy people. And so what it did was it generated a full course outline for me. You'll see that on the left. And then it created a landing page copy, sales video copy, and sales email copy. And that was from one line that I typed in. That's the only thing I said. And it gave me, like, think about it, guys. Who's got courses online? How long did it take you to do just your landing page copy? Wouldn't it be great to have a start, right? Wouldn't it be great to use some of this pieces just to help you along the way? So this is how Kajabi integrated. Now my favorite one, how many of you are using Canva? If you're not using Canva, you're missing out, because it is truly, we can't believe how cheap Canva is, Canva Pro, and everything you get. It's ridiculous. So Canva was it last week, 2 weeks ago? Just released their full suite of AI tools. So if you're in Canva, especially if you're a pro member, which is only $160 a year or something like that, they brought in all their AI. So it is insane. You can ask it to write. You can ask it for text to picture, text to video. It can expand. It can make, you can put in a picture and you can make a vertical picture horizontal by just pushing that button. You don't have to rework anything. You don't have to do anything. It can switch your content from being a whiteboard into a presentation. You can put a line, you can put, say, I want to do a presentation on flower arranging, and it will create an entire presentation for you. Now, doesn't mean that, you're going to use it as is, because you're obviously going to put all your information in, but it is that great. And look, I'm not an affiliate. I'm not trying to sell you on this. So this is awesome. So if you haven't played with Canva, I encourage you to do it, because some of their AI tools are the best in the market. And they're also very, very fast in adopting everything that's coming out new. So saying all that, let's go back to the basic piece of ChatGPT, right? Essentially, we're using a prompt, and I want to take you through how that can work. So essentially, I'm going to say I can write an ebook with 10 chapters and give me a catchy title on how to coach your child's hockey team, for example, right? And it will start creating those chapter by chapter. Now, if I don't know, I'm not 100% sure of what I want to write, you can use a pre-written prompt. So this is AI PRM. Those are prompts. And you can see, remember I told you, write me an ebook? Well, otherwise I could click, you can see the square in the middle that said write a book, right? So you could use their prompt too. So there we go. So this is what I've done. I've put in how to coach your child's hockey team. That's all I wrote. Right? I didn't write anything else in the prompt but how to coach your child's hockey team. So now it's giving me all the information that should be or could be in a complete book, right? So it is writing the titles for every single chapter. It's giving me the book introduction. It's insane, right? It's absolutely insane. So it keeps going and going, and it will write the whole thing. And then I can come back and go, expand on chapter 1, give me examples, give me case studies. And it'll go on and on and on as long as you want. Have you guys played with this? Have you seen how incredible this is? So if you've ever had an idea, how many of you have wanted to write a book? I think that would be everybody, right? So if you've always had an idea for a book, but you're not sure how to structure it, this will work with you. You will give it a title, it'll start spewing out a bunch, and then you can say, you know what, I love chapters 2 and 3, but I don't like 4 and 5. Can you give me a different example? So I'm going to go through some prompt hacks with you so that you'll be able to start doing this on your own. And I want to make sure that you understand the difference between quality questions. So number 1 is you have to be really specific, right? You have to provide a precise target, just like you would if you're coaching a client, in order to get the correct answer. So rather than saying, how can yoga help me get fit? You would say, create a 5-day plan for what exercises I need to do in yoga each day to help me get fit. Each day's plan should only be 20 minutes of exercise a day. That's pretty specific, right? Let's see how that works. So the first prompt was how I can get fit, right? That's what I had said. And this is what it came out. It says yoga will help me with flexibility, build strength, reduce stress. All great, but not really actionable, because that's not what I'm really interested. I want to know what I can do. So now we're going to go to the second prompt, which was create the plan. And look what it did. It gave me by day what to do each and every day, because I gave it specifics. I needed a 20-minute yoga practice, right? So look at day one. Day one's about strength building. Start with a few rounds of sun salutations. Move into a series of standing poses, and it tells me the poses that I should use. Then work on building strength with poses like plank and chaturanga and boat pose, and then end with a few minutes of relaxation. I can take this full plan and do it today. And now some of you are going to go, yeah, but I don't know sun salutations. Well, you know what I can do? I can go back into the next thread of ChatGPT and I can say, this is a great plan. Can you now tell me in detail how to do a sun salutation? And it will tell me. Like, it's just mind blowing how accurate and how crazy this is. Number 2 prompt is don't be vague. Okay, don't be vague. So write a blog about keto diets versus list 10 ways of how a high keto diet can help you lose weight, including easy breakfast recipes for you to follow. Can you see how this blog would be a lot better? So we're going to go through some other prompts so you'll understand it. Number 3 is give it context, right? So instead of saying, what advice should I give my client on finance, right? Which is for you finance people might be thinking of that. Instead, let's do, you are a financial planning expert. What are your top 10 strategies for financial planning that you would give a recent college graduate who still has student loans but wants to save to buy a home? You see the difference in that? Because now I'm being specific. I don't want a general advice. I want the advice for my college graduate who has debt. That will totally change the information that you're going to get. And then 4 is give it limits. Instead of what social media platform should I advertise on to gain attendees for my workshop, because I'm sure you've all thought about that. Instead, you want to write, what social media platform should I advertise on to gain attendees for my workshop about training your dog? I have a limited budget of only $100 a day for a period of 10 days. When you use that, it will give you specific targets on where to advertise, what social media platforms, what type of segment you want to push towards. And then you can go even further. When you get that information, then you can say, okay, that's great. Now write me 10 posts that I can use to promote this workshop. See how that works? So every time, so if you stay in the exact same thread while you're in ChatGPT, what happens is it's learning as you go. It's learning your answers, right? It's learning your answers. So every time you're talking about your dog training, you're continuing along the same path. And so every time you say that's great or that's no good, it will understand that and it will change its answers accordingly. So prompt number 5 is break it down. Break it down to ensure that, again, you get the best bang for your buck. So what online business should I start? Very generic, right? They could be a million answers. Instead, you can ask questions like, what online niche businesses are trending? Or what would be a marketing strategy for this business? And then when you start getting them, you can then go into create a landing page for this business. There's a couple of AI tools that you can find in directories like Mixio. So Mixio is one that actually you can put in your a business and it will create an entire landing page for you that you can actually, I don't know how much they charge. It's not very much, it's like 10, 20 bucks a week or a month. And you can use that as your landing page. It gives you pictures and everything else. It's insane. So that's why I said the directories are really, really great. Number 6 is ask for sources. Because this is new and you have to usually have ChatGPT 4 or Bard does it automatically. But you can ask time sources. So what are the most successful online businesses in 2023? That's a very generic way of saying it. Instead, saying, what are the most successful online businesses in 2023 and provide sources to support your choices. And it will give you links to where it's finding that information. So again, the better you are at asking questions, for those of you who are really amazing already, if you're consultants or coaches at asking questions, this will be a breeze for you. So for those of you who are not, it's okay. Use some of these prompt hacks. I would suggest, download these slides at the end and then use them verbatim and see what happens when you put them in and you plug them in. So number 7 is format your answer. So rather than write a blog about team management, you would write a blog that includes 10 bullet points that answer the question, what the top trends of 2023 for team management strategies. So you see the difference? It's subtle, but the better question you ask, it will give you specifics. So a lot of people, when you first start, you're going to jump in and you're going to say, give me a headline for my workshop. But you want to go back, instead of doing that, you would say, give me 10 compelling, action-oriented titles for my workshop. Now you're asking it for 10, not just one. Because if you just say, write me a headline, it will give you one headline. If you say, write 10, it will give you 10. So it's very, very cool, very easy to use. Number 8. Determine your style. So instead of saying create an email sequence about saving money tips, you would say create a 5-part email sequence about saving money tips as a sassy 20-year-old girl boss, right? Or as a professional financial planner with 20 years experience. You guys want to see what that looks like? Because I know this one's kind of fun. So I always use this when I'm doing examples. So when it says create a 5-part sequence with a sassy 20-year-old girl boss, this is what it writes. So look at the subject. Hey girl, let's talk money. And then it goes into, are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to save up something for something special, but you don't know where to start? So it's very much girl boss 20-year-old, because that's what I asked, right? So if that's your persona, it makes sense. But now let's see what the other one looks like. So if I asked it as the professional financial planner, I get completely different answer, right? So the subject is, welcome to the world of financial planning. As a professional financial planner with over 20 years of experience, you see? It's the same question, but I gave it different parameters. And wow, did it make a change. So if you know your personality and your voice, you can put that in. And part of AI training that we do with a lot of our clients is we teach AI to talk in your own voice. So by giving it clips of your writing and giving it clips of your audios, it will take it will analyze your style, and then everything it puts out will be in your voice, in your style. So if you don't like your style or you want somebody else's, you can pick somebody you like. You might say, you know what? Write this blog in the style of Brene Brown. Write this blog in the style of Tony Robbins. If there's somebody that you love their style, it will write accordingly, right? So if you don't know your style, which is really interesting, is once it analyzes and finds your style, you can look back and go, hey, I didn't know that's how I sounded. That's actually good. I don't need anybody else. So there's so many cool things that you can do with it. Number 9, and this is a really good one. It's always refine, right? So we talked about it earlier. Instead of generate a title for my new workshop about strategies for wellness, generate 9 different titles and target 3 different audiences, including stay-at-home moms, professional women, and grandmothers, and generate at least 3 different titles for each targeted group. Does that make sense? Can you see how this will completely change your time that you're spending on your business? Because listen, you can sit there for a day and generate, you'll do research, you'll look around, see what other people are doing, and then you'll generate the titles. But you can get this to you in about 10 seconds, and you can pick out a title and off you go. You can spend your time working on your content rather than worrying about what the catchy title is. And you can actually ask it, when you say generate 9 different titles, you can say that are edgy or cutting edge or that are professional or that are sassy. And you can, again, refine it to make it what you want it to be. So when I talked about creating your own voice, this is what I was talking about. So instead of just saying write a blog about 10 social media strategies, you want to teach your voice to it first. So I'm giving you a prompt here. And remember, you're going to download the slides, so don't worry about writing it all down because there's a lot of information here. So what you do is you're going to upload, you're going to write that prompt into ChatGPT, and then you're going to upload just a little segment of your writing. It could be a blog or from an ebook. And then what it'll do is it'll analyze all of your writing. It will give you an answer based on the prompt I'm showing you now. And then when you get that answer, you can save it. And then every time you write anything, anytime you're asking for anything, you always say, write it in this voice. And then it will always write in your voice. Because let's face it, everyone's different, right? And back in, you've probably seen Jasper and a bunch of other AI tools that'll say write a blog, but they've never given you an option to write in your own voice. So sometimes it produces a great blog, but it doesn't really sound like you, right? So, and you want it to sound like you, even if you're just looking for a heading or a couple of points, you want it to sound like you. So those are my 10 prompt hacks. The key really on any of this is really to explore. You want to play with ChatGPT, check out the directories. I want you to watch YouTube tutorials. These are all free things you can do, right? And determine what you need. So if you're like, how do I do course creation with ChatGPT? If you don't really know and you're not sure where to start, just Google it. There's about 1 billion YouTube videos. There is, you'll see them on TikTok, you'll see them on Reels. Everything that you possibly want is there. So, and before you, so I'm going to tell you what we do, just to let you know if you need our help. You don't need to pay for anything. You can go ahead, explore yourself, check out the tutorials, get ChatGPT for free. Don't have to worry about any of that. If you want to go deeper, we have a workshop that you can watch, and that's a lot of done for you prompts where we actually work through starting a brand new business. So for those of you who might have heard about our workshop, it's very funny because I try to get people to try to start a business that they have no intention of really starting and they have no expertise in it. And really it's just about, can I create a business just with ChatGPT from start to finish? And we did. Anyone in the workshops, that's what they do. They create a random business with everything from ideas to landing pages to planners to products to everything you can think of. If you're interested in going further, we do have a mastery course where we teach you everything about writing a book, creating a podcast, and that's all happening. And we were talking to somebody yesterday, one of our clients, and who has a very successful podcast already, but we showed her how to fine tune it using AI. So we asked AI, what episodes, based on everything you know that we're trying to sell, what kind of episodes should I have on my podcast? And it created an entire list of episodes. So if you don't know what to talk about, you can say, I need the next 20 episodes. What should I do? Who should I have my guests? Do you need to do AI for any of doing a podcast? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you want to save some time, right? And be able to spend more time for yourself, because that's the truth. That's what happens. That's what we've noticed. We actually have more time to do what we want, right? Instead of stressing about what are we going to talk about next week on the podcast, right? Because now we have a list. So we did in our workshop, we did an entire list that you could literally have a podcast for 365 days. And we asked for 365 subject titles, and that's what it gave us. So if you just pick a title and expand on that based on the knowledge of what you're talking about, that's all you have to do. So I encourage you, obviously, to join us at Mastermind City. We have a lot of these pieces, But the reason that I'm pushing this out for you is because you'll be able to find all the information here and download our slides. This is our link. And so what I want you to do, as I said, encourage you to do is check out the courses, the slides, start doing them, start training yourself to do it. You might love this, right? You might love AI, and feel free, you can join us in the mastery classes because we dive really deep. Or you might just want to use a little bit of it, just a little tiny bit, which is great. But what I want you to do, I want to encourage you to just get your feet wet, because this is going at a rapid pace. And we want to get you involved now, because that's going to make the difference between your business and somebody else's, the difference between your podcast and someone else's podcast, because it's highly refined what you're doing and it blends with what your business is. Because how many of us know that we've heard podcasts and we listen to them and it has nothing to do with what they're doing in their business. So there's no real, if you want to just chat, that's cool. If you just want to have a radio show, cool. But if you actually want to pull it into selling something or to increase the awareness of your business, they have to coincide. So it's really great that we can ask Chachi, as I like to call ChatGPT, what the answer is, right? So, and that will help you move forward.